sledge and pick up the meat and stuff. It's a bit of fun doing it this way. So what book are you reading, G-Man? I've just been reading Crown of Kings by Bernard Cornwell. It's one of his Saxon story, sagas, chronicles, whatever you want to call it, with Uhtred of Bebbanburg. The Last Kingdom, the series, you might have seen it on TV. Just got another chapter done this morning. Really like it. It's good. I think all those books have been good. Go on, get the goat. And then charge. Oh. Oh, that's a domestic one. We don't need to worry about that. We've got plenty of domestic cattle. We want to hunt the wild ones. We'll make that the last one, I think. Oh, it's off. Get that pig instead. Well done, folks. Well done. Yeah, it's more fun early on hunting when there's mammoths and woolly rhinos and stuff. So we've got that much food, some of it's going off, like it says there, resources decayed bread. Well, that doesn't matter too much. Get the bacon. Population's doing fine. We've got room for more. Oh, I wonder if we got those megaliths harvested. Ooh, what's that? Great big bear. We should really send a party out to go and hunt him down. Because they will come and get us when we don't expect it. Right, I'll go and convert those megaliths into rolling sledges and get them transported back. We're due a raiders attack. They normally come once a season, I think. There we go. New houses going up. What are we short of? Short of stone, wood, straw. Oh, we've got plenty of straw. Sticks. Sticks and wood we're doing okay for. There we go. Acquired flint times 500. And extra knowledge for that. So I love the way you progress in this. You can trade for technology if you have it's expensive, but if you have enough resources, you can do it like that. I just like the way that your people discover new technologies just by doing lots and lots of the same thing. Same way that you get better at anything else in life just by doing lots of it until you've got the experience. Or accidentally discover a better way of doing it. What have we got here? Nothing. Oh, I'll take the charcoal. And I'll take the tin ore as well. 15? I'll keep the spears. I think we're a bit short on good weapons at the moment. And I could probably give away... Let's give away some bone harpoons, because it will get people using the fishing rods instead. Are there other settlements in this map, or do the raiders come from the outside? At the moment, they just come from the outside. I've never... I mean, it's a big map. It is a big map. There are room for other settlements. There's room for other players, which... I can't say anything because I don't know what the developers' plans are, but look at the size of this. I mean, there's so much space. So much space. You could easily fit another player's settlement in this and play co-op. Wouldn't that be fun? Or even against each other. Now, that would be a laugh. But, I mean, look at the size of this. There's no way I could use all this for one settlement. Well, I suppose technically I might. I don't know what the population limit is. Somebody said 200. I don't know if that's true or not. But you'd need huge... I mean, you'd have to set up multiple settlements, which would be difficult with the raiding thing. Maybe that's something for, further on down the line. But I would love to see a co-op play in this. I'd really love to see that. That would be... If I could ask for one thing with the game... if I could ask for one thing with any game, it's to put co-op into it. I love co-op play. Always have, always will. Leather. We've got plenty of leather. We're in autumn. We've got the crops in. We've got enough food for winter. Let's build us that wall. Let's see how far down there. Stone? Stone is nearly out, actually. Have I been a little bit neglective of my stone gathering? Let's put this. This is a big stone area right here. This is a huge stone area. Look at all that it can gather in. Right, send 3 people, 4 people, infinite stone, which means they'll gather it till it runs out. You can certainly make a second settlement, Mr. Fester, if you wanted to. The trouble is, it then gets a little bit harder to defend, because if all the raiders go for it, and I hit the alarm, a lot of my people will just run back to the main settlement. I'm guessing a few would run to the secondary settlement, but there might not be enough to fight off the raiders, and you get the whole settlement trashed. And I don't think there's a way of assigning people to a particular settlement, or buildings. So I don't think that works too well at the moment. And again, maybe that's something that developers are looking at while it's in this beta phase. Composite Archery. I'd really like that, but I'm not trading for it. I will take some bronze knives, though. And some bronze sickles, because they are good. And some more tin ore. This is an expensive trade. Do I really want to do this? Still, I have things I'm not using. Let's get rid of the copper bars. Let's get rid of... We've got plenty of cloth. We can do this, I think. 6 copper spears, which aren't as good as bronze spears. Harpoons are not worth anything. I've got a lot to make up here. Let's give out all the flint, because I don't really use that anymore. I don't use bone either. Get that awesome archery. That's the English longbow. Not with that, it's not. The English longbow is one of the most simplest type of bows you can get. Just a single piece of wood. Oh, it's just a stick with a string on it. A composite archery that's talking about there. I don't know. I mean, they had it. I don't know if they built composite bows over here. They definitely built them out in Far Eastern Europe, I think, and out on the steppes by that point. They were more advanced, but in England we just used a stick and a string, and we just made them simple, but easy to make. Well, not easy to build. You still had to be a skilled bowyer to make them, but easy compared to composite bows. Simpler design. Could trade a few bows. How far are we short? A lot. All my flint stuff. Let's get rid of some of these. By getting rid of them, it'll force my crafters to build more metal tools. Leather is too valuable to give away. What? I think I've set myself up for a bit of an expensive trade with all this. Yeah, especially as he charges a lot of commission, this guy. But I'm going to do it anyway, because we're dead set on that. Oh, let's get rid of some slings. 10 slings. Still got 540. That'll do it. And then some wheat. Done. I think that was a fair... Well, it's an expensive trade, but it'll be useful. The English longbow is 2 strips of yew that bent in different ways. So not that simple. No, it wasn't. It was a single piece of yew. It was made from the heartwood and the sapwood, but it was cut from the stave, so you had heartwood and sapwood in the same cut. It wasn't glued together. Modern ones are made from laminates of different woods that are glued together, but the English longbow was cut from a single piece of yew, often Italian or Spanish yew, that grew up on the higher altitude hills and mountains, because it was stronger and better than the English yew, which growing in a damper climate wasn't quite as strong, but still a good wood for it. And a lot of other English longbows were made from ash and elm and other woods as well. But no, the English longbow was just a single piece of wood. How are we doing? Ammon has died of starvation. Really? That's not true, Saturn, about them being... you didn't need to train people very long to use them. That's why the gun became effective and overtook the longbow, because you could train any idiot to use a gun in very short amount of time at all, the firearms. But the English longbow required archers to train for years just to master the strength that was required of the war bows that we used. which would be between 80 and probably 140 pounds for most. You get extremes above that, but they would be, I would imagine they would be quite rare. But yeah, to develop that sort of strength, English archers were trained from childhood. It was all ingrained into law. Other sports were outlawed to make people go and practice archery and nothing else. But yeah, the bows themselves were cheap and simple to make. But the archers were not so quick to train up, unfortunately. And that's why firearms became the preferred weapon in later times, simply because they were actually less reliable, certainly in bad weather. They were less accurate, they had less range, but you could train someone to use them in next to no time at all. At least the way, early firearms were used, volleys en masse. Yeah, the wood, the ideal wood for an English longbow was, and the ones you'll have seen that look really nice. They've got the dark, I think it's the heartwood. Is it the heartwood on the inside? I forget which it is. Anyway, I forget which way around it is. But they've got the beautiful dark wood, and then the lighter other wood. It looks like two pieces that have been glued together, but they are, at least traditionally, they were carved from the same stave. And these days, you get lots that are just made from laminates of different woods. They use, and for sporting purposes this is, and target archery, they use things like lemon wood. Yew is still used. A lot of people still like a yew. It's called a self bow when it's made out of one piece. What else do they use? Lemon wood, purple heart, hickory. I have a friend who is a bow maker. A.D. Hayes Longbows. You can look him up. Adrian Hayes. I think he has a website. He made a wonderful longbow out of an Australian snake wood, which has a fantastic pattern on it. I think it's quite a heavy wood. Not necessarily the best for bow making, but he used it to very good effect on a target field, and it looked amazing as well. You're wrong, they only needed to be strong. Real archers needed to train for at least a decade to be even called proficient. Catch Lars Anderson's videos to see how real archers were trained. Don't pay too much attention to Lars Anderson. They only needed to be strong. No, that's nonsense. If you go and look up the history of the English archer, the ones that were made famous by Agincourt and Cressy, you'll see that they were trained from childhood to develop that strength. You could take a really strong guy now, give him a bow, and he would not have the muscular strength to pull back a war bow. I say this because I've trained lots and lots of target archers. And you see great big muscly guys who've been in gyms and all sorts and think, oh, this is easy. But the muscles for pulling a bow back are extremely unique to archery. It's all shoulder and back muscle. And I can tell you a lot about this because I'm going in a hospital tomorrow to have my shoulder scanned because it's been worn out from shooting hundreds of thousands of arrows over my own archery career. But for the English longbow, yeah, that's how English archers were trained. They were brought up, I think it's from about the age of 7 or 8. It was all written into medieval law, unfortunately. Lars tells a good story, and he's a skilled archer with what he does, but that's not how medieval military archery worked. Let's see. Got loads of stuff I could go and hunt down here. Still got lots of food and lots of leather though, so I don't think I'll bother. Let's get this wall finished off. And then we can upgrade the rest of the wall as well. And actually, we should get some guard towers up. But let's get this done first. That's not going the right way. Let's get it going down here. Apparently bone experts can tell archers from the bones which are changed by continuous archery from a young age. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a bit in the shoulder, and I forget what the name of it is because I'm not that up on anatomy. But in adults, it looks like something about the size of a top half of your thumb. And in an adult, that bit will be fused to the rest of the shoulder. It starts being joined by cartilage, and as you grow older, it just naturally fuses into bone, and that bit's solid. In the archers that they find in the skeletons, that bit is separate from the shoulder. The cartilage has rotted away and disappeared. Because the action of pulling the bow back from childhood through to adulthood has never let that bit of cartilage set into bone, or fuse into bone, or whatever the terminology is. And so, yeah, that's the only way they can often tell. And they can often tell, you have marks on bones, made by big, strong muscles. How they attach, it does affect the way the bow... It doesn't deform it as such, but they can tell, oh, this was a big guy, because you can see his leg muscles attached here to his leg bones, and you can tell. Yeah, it's the same with that, because the muscles, certainly on one side, on the drawing side, will be slightly more developed than on the other. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, Teenage Dirtbag, there was an English officer, went to war with a broadsword and a bow in World War II. He was a bit of a nutcase, but he was also, he joined the Special Forces, and he was involved in all sorts of crazy stuff. Was he called Mad Jack or something like that? I forget his real name, but yeah, he's worth looking up. That's a good story as well. Sorry, Daisy, you have reached the end of your useful life. Let's slaughter the cow. We're on 24 cows. Bit short on sheep, actually. We're going to lose wool if we're not careful. Let's hit pause. Let's go and find a herd of sheep. Goats. We don't want goats. They look sheep-like. Yay, they are. We'll go and send... yeah, we'll send a few people out to capture them. There's another one, but there's not... We need the youngsters. Apparently older ones don't like being domesticated. Who'd have thought it? Hey, Aimless. How are you doing? There's always special people who decide to swim through the river, despite me putting a bridge in. It's oh, what are these? Mouflons. Excellent. Go and capture some of those as well. We can live without goats, but without sheep we don't have wool and we freeze to death in winter. Oh, there we go. Myrtle, sorry. You gotta go. You find the sheep difficult to manage in this game? I found the pigs really difficult to manage. You'll notice I don't have any now, because they bred like rats. And all the time, every turn, I was just getting messages saying that my stables were all full. And it was just become such a pain in the backside. I slaughtered them all in the end, which are a good source of meat and leather. But, yeah, I found those a pain. The cattle, I think, seem to be the best bang for the buck for effort and everything else. Ooh, what can we discover? Composite Archery, there we go. Just a minute. My last sheep has just died. Well, it's a good job I set those people out in that case. We have an outfitter. We should have... Is this him? We have a workshop. Yeah, stop building them. Yep, building composite bows, which is going to use a lot of linen, but we can afford linen, in fact. Let's just set him off to a head start and put that on high priority as well. And also... No, wait, hang on. Yes, we'll have sledges and carts as well. We need horses and donkeys, that's what we need. No, wait, don't recycle it. I want the storage limit, so we're going to set the sledges to... Yeah, we're going to set the carts up to... Well, let's do 5 at the moment. Well, 6, because... Oh, can't do 6? We'll do 5, because I can't use more than that. I've got no animals to pull them. And sledges, 20% would be 20 sledges. We'll just put a number on this then, please, I think. We have 20... Yeah, 20 sledges will do. Mad Jack. Even escape from behind enemy lines, plus a good bow user is more stealth than the most silent sniper rifle. It is until you trip over something and spill all the arrows into the floor. I think he used it. It was during the retreat from Dunkirk, I think was the time when he used it. Other times an English longbow is not the most practical weapon to take in a situation like that. Because accuracy at any sort of range is tricky if you're using them in a stealthy assassination situation. But also, they're just so damn big and long that they're quite awkward to transport and conceal and all the rest of it. I have a wooden bow. It's not an English longbow. I have an American flat bow. I just brought it down from under the bed today because I was planning to do a bit of exercise with it. But, yeah, I could maybe go and get that, but they're such a big long thing. They're a pain in the ass to even just get out of the bag I've got for it and show you on camera. Are we producing enough bread? Yes, and flour. Okay, I can tear that thing down now. Tear that down and recycle, and that down and recycle. Then we can build some guard towers around there. Ah, my stable might be too close to this. And no, we're okay. We've got stone. We have enough stone. Let's extend this along a bit. Is that going to actually join up? I think it is. We'll see if they leave a little gap, but I think that's... Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Oh, did we get... Not yet. Still waiting for some poor sods to drag those big heavy stones back over. Did they get started on that job? Yep, there's one. Here they go. Here they come. One at a time. Rather than putting 3 blokes on 1 stone and using all their effort, it's 1 each. I don't know. They've gone home because they're tired and hungry, I think. You can buy the Samsung Q4 and use that. That suits my needs. I'll keep it up, or get the Q6 or Q7, or work the way up. Beyond the Samsung Q4, depends what you want. It depends what you want and what you like. There's all sorts of dynamic mics. As I say, if you want to, with the USB, just stick with that. If you decide you really want to go for something next level up, that's when you're looking at audio interfaces, and mixers do the same job, usually. Or other tools, which I have a channel strip here, which is quite nice because you can set it to block certain sounds out below a certain level. You can give things, hey, listen to this. You can give things a great big bass boost. You should be able to hear the difference on that. But that just makes things boomy and boxy, and I hate that effect. And you can give things a big treble boost. This is overkill, by the way. You should be able to hear that. I hate it. I have it all set to flat. Things you can play with. There's all sorts of other things. You can manually quickly adjust the volume from there or turn it down and stuff. So there's all sorts of other equipment, and these things are really, really useful for it. Here we go. Raider attack. But that's if you decide you want to get into things a bit more. Oh, they're coming against my guard towers here. Let's see how this works. Let's let them come on for a bit. There they come. I'm going to leave the gate open till the last minute. Whoops, no, wrong one. Oh, I messed that up badly. I messed that up really badly. And I shouldn't be on 4 times speed either. Right, we can open up again now. I clicked the wrong button. Never mind. Oh, we better open the gates too. Put in 2 pop filters. You can use pop filters on that mic. And Samsung do this one because I use it on that, and that's called a Samsung. I can't remember, Samsung something one. I think foam filter. Look for that. Stick that on. It works just as well as a pop filter. It's what I'm using on this one up here. Some people some people say, oh, but they cut out some of the bass frequencies or something. I find it makes so little difference, especially when you're up close like that. So, and I find them pretty damn good, effective pop filters. Right, let's put some towers back up there. Also, it depends on the tone of your voice as well. If you got like a high voice or a very deep, bassy, boomy voice. Different mics suit different voices. It's a little bit of trial and error. Everyone's got their favourite, and we've all got different voices, so it's a case of you don't know what it's going to do for you until you try it out. And the one I ended up using for this job is... I wouldn't have expected it. It's... what the hell's it called? An AKG CK93, I think it is. Yeah, CK93. It's a good one. And I found someone selling one second-hand on eBay. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it out. And I've tried lots of different mics in this position, lots of different dynamics and stuff for streaming. And as soon as I got this, it ticked all the boxes that I wanted. So good, I bought 2. You're an introvert, you don't speak too much, you don't know what kind of voice you have. Well, just, I guess it's just going to be trial and error, really. Also, the closer you get to a microphone, it'll add something called proximity effect. Different mics vary in how they deal with this and what effect they have. As you get closer, it not only gets louder, you should notice it gets a little bit boomier and bassier as well. And if you're going to use a mic close up like that Samsung one, you might find that adds quite a lot of bass to your voice. You sound like a late night radio DJ. Some people love that sound. Some people have a voice that is complemented by that sound, especially if you don't have a, well, it's just something different. Hey Plumsack, nice name. Welcome to the stream. Okay, teenage, enjoy playing your what? Premium RHM8. What on earth is that? Is that the Soviet tank destroyer? World of Tanks? Let's speed this up a little. We'll get the grain harvested. Excellent, we've got the wall going up. How are we off for stone? We are okay for stone at the moment. We've got space. Oh, we've got space to put our guard towers around here. Let's do that. We've got plenty of wood, so I'm going to put 4 either side if we can. I think that is that house going to be? No, that house is not a problem. That's good. 2, 3, and 4. This is going to give my people a real headache of stuff to build, but 1, 2, 3. If it fits, it fits. 4. And 1. Actually, I'll wait until they've finished that, in case they can't build it from the other side. I think they can, but you never know. Looking like quite a defensive structure at the moment, isn't it? Oh, it's the Borsig itself, is it? There's a premium one? Did they bring a premium version of that out? I'd never heard. Do we have copper? Sorry, bronze. We have some bronze in reserve. I'll maybe not spend anything this time around. Spent quite a bit on trading recently. The Romans are coming. Build, build, build. It does look a little bit Roman. It looks a little bit too square, doesn't it? For what are we in? Bronze Age at the moment. Although the Romans would have had it, you know, perfectly square and laid out with districts and everything. Did I get the street running through the middle? Yeah, pretty much, except that we have buildings in the way. Don't think the Romans would have. Would they have had that? Maybe. Managed to get sheep back to 5. What about killing off a few cattle? Yeah, chop him up. Slaughter him. Any old ones? Charcoal we're okay for. We've got some copper ore. We can trade that. I'm not using copper anymore. It's a 3-clip auto-loader on console. Wow, they have lots of different tanks on console compared to the PC. Better or worse. Okay, what else I can do? I can upgrade some of our roundhouses. Or some of our huts to roundhouses, I should say. Let's just do 3 to start with. If I do them all at once, and winter comes, a big storm, we won't have anywhere to go and hide. Oh, hang on. What's that across the river? They are ibexes, aren't they? These lot aren't. They're what we want. Just those. Just there. Go and get me some more sheep. I see, we're running low on wool. Stocks of tin. Oh, of course we need copper ore. We use it to make bronze, don't we? Tin and copper. Alright, and we're doing okay for wood. Yep, food. Things are looking good. Things are looking pretty wholesome in our settlement. that that went off over there? It's an old pig limping away. Could probably hunt him down, I think.